Greetings, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Messages from Ori. This is day-oyabunmi, and in Messages from Ori, I actually channel messages from the collective consciousness. Before we get started, if you're interested in an Ifa reading, a Ifa-Orisa reading, if you're interested in a personal tarot reading, if you're interested in Ifa-Orisa related ebooks, online courses, or my Patreon, please visit my website, daydreamalston.com. You may also check the description box. Ashe. So today I wanted to do a reading on self-sabotage. I don't know about you, but there's been moments throughout my life where I've definitely sabotaged myself. I blocked my own progress, created my own obstacles, and I know that I'm not alone in that. So I wanted to do a reading about it. So today I'm using the Modern Witch Tarot, the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards, and a carnelian crystal to channel messages. We're going to start by looking at how do we sabotage ourselves. So remember, this is a general reading for everyone. If you're interested in a personal reading on this topic, check out my website, daydreamalston.com/store, and you can book either a pre-recorded or live reading, and where it asks for the topic, put self-sabotage. Okay? Ashe. So I'm going to start with the carnelian stone, and I already gotten a couple of messages before I started. So one of the ways that some of us, gotta include myself, sabotage ourselves is through impulsive action, quick action. Sometimes you might act without thinking, and this really gets you into trouble. Those of you who have had this issue in the past, you know that this is you. There are instances where instead of stopping and thinking about how you should handle a situation, you rush in, right? And you rush in very passionately, and it ends up being a pain for you. It ends up being a blockage or an obstacle for you. Another way some of you self-sabotage is through anger. There's this focus on passion, right? So your passion is ignited and you move too quickly. So say you get angry, and instead of stepping away from a situation, you respond right away, and that response is explosive. And what happens is you block yourself from progressing, but you might also be blocking something good from coming in because of that angry reaction. Some of you self-sabotage because you have this way of doubting yourself, right? So you might have this gut feeling about something. You might get excited about something and be ready to move forward. But instead of just putting your focus on it and your intent into moving forward with it, you'll stop and start to doubt yourself. And this doubt creates a blockage for you, and it stops you from going down paths that could have really been successful because you've doubted yourself so much. Some of you are sabotaging yourselves through low self-esteem, not feeling worthy of the things that you desire in life. Some of you sabotage yourselves because you don't do things at the right time. So again, be careful with rushing in, but also be careful with procrastination. Time is very important for some of you. Like you've missed opportunities because you've procrastinated. And then sometimes you've moved too fast on opportunities. So be very mindful of time and timing, right? That's why it's good to always slow down and really sit in consideration of things before moving forward. And let's get one more message from the stone. Some of you sabotage yourselves just because you have a lack of belief in yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe you can manifest what you desire. You don't believe that you have the talent, the skills, the gifts to do, great things. There's a lack of belief. Some of you sabotage yourselves by your lack of belief in spirit as well, in the divine. So it's like sometimes you believe in the divine, and then there's other times where you lose your faith, and in a way that is blocking you, sabotaging you. Okay, let's move into the cards now. I'm going to look at the Modern Witch Tarot and see, how do we sabotage ourselves? Okay, some of us are too argumentative. Some of us don't trust others, and because of this lack of trust and this argumentative nature, we actually fight people who could be helpful for us, and we push people away that could be helpful in our lives, right? By being argumentative. Some of you are very guarded, and this is one of the ways that you sabotage yourself. I say that because the Five of Wands is out. Some of you with the hanged man here, or the hanged one, some of you sabotage yourself by just staying in one spot and not taking the needed actions to make stuff happen. So it's like, you know what needs to happen, right? Say you can't stand your job, you want a new job, and so you know the steps that'll take. Maybe you need to update your resume. Maybe you need to start networking, put yourself out there, create a LinkedIn profile, start sending out job applications. But instead of doing that, you just kind of hang around and you make excuses as to why you can't take those steps, or, you can't do that thing. Oh, I'll just keep putting up with this place even though I hate it, right? So that's a form of self-sabotage. Some of you sabotage yourself by feeling like there's nothing else you need, or there's nothing else you want to pursue, even though that's not true. You may have things in mind, right, that you want to do, but you have built up like a false sense of security, right? So an example of that is, you want to start your own business, but you have a job in corporate America and you make good money. And the thought of stepping away from that in order to start this new business is just too much for you. And instead of taking the small steps forward, right, to start this business, you kind of sit in this false sense of security. You just are like, oh, well, I have everything I need right here. If I leave this, I'm going to lose that, and then I won't have it. I might, fail. I might not have anything. There's just this way of kind of sitting back and missing opportunities to act, right? Because you have this false sense of security. For some of you, is being too lax, sitting back and not taking action. Right? Feeling too comfortable, even though you want to change, right? Even though you want to move forward. And I say that because of the Empress here and ways that you self-sabotage. Some of you self-sabotage through your thinking. There's this tendency of some of you out there to think really negatively about yourself, your situation, and your life, to the point where you're literally hurting yourself. You could actually be making yourself sick through worry. For some of you, allowing yourself to worry incessantly is the way that you self-sabotage. If you're so focused on what's not going to work for you, right, and worrying about the bad things, it makes it really hard for you to move forward, to overcome obstacles, to, just grow in life. Some of you are sabotaging yourself through manipulation. You manipulate things to the point where other people can see that you're manipulative. Some of you may be emotionally manipulative, and this pushes people away, but it also pushes away opportunities to manifest what it is that you want. Some of you are sabotaging yourself with the Magician here because you don't believe in your ability. Straight up, like just because you don't believe in your ability to create the things that you want, to bring about change. You don't even see yourself as having everything you need to make things happen. Some of you sabotage yourselves because you will receive clear internal indications and guidance about a step to take, right? Some new passionate information will come in with the Ace of Wands here, but because of your fear, you won't move forward. Some of you sabotage yourselves because of traditions, right? Because of the way things have always been. So say you want to go in a new direction. You want to try, something new that maybe hasn't been tried in your family, that is not the traditional path, that's not the normal path. But because you know it's not traditional, you don't even take the step. There's like a blockage. You won't even allow yourself to experiment and to experience new things. And in a way, you're sabotaging yourself. And I say that with the Hierophant. Some of you are sabotaging yourself through drinking too much, through an increase, not increase, it's just like you're doing too much when it comes to either drinking alcohol or the types of food you're eating. You're doing something that is hurting you and hurting your body. And in that way, you're sabotaging yourself. Some of you are sabotaging yourself because you don't strive for balance and moderation. Like you need balance in your life, but you're not balanced, right? And you're not practicing moderation. And so this is hurting you and is stopping you from moving towards the things that are meant for you. And I say this because of the Temperance. Let's do a couple of more. Modern Witch. How are we sabotaging? How are the people listening sabotaging themselves? Some of you lack hope and faith. You're afraid to be vulnerable. You've lost like your belief in life and the miracles of life. I say that because of the Star. The Star is all about like hope and faith, and this woman is naked, right? She's connecting with the earth. Some of you have like a distance between yourself and the earth. And when I say that, I mean in terms of like lack of groundedness. You're not grounded, and as a result, you're sabotaging yourself. You lack connection to the earth. You don't feel like you belong in the spaces that you're in. You're afraid, you're fearful, and you just have lost your faith. And as a result, you're sabotaging yourself and not moving forward. Some of you are sabotaging yourself because you're not allowing cycles to end in your life. You're not allowing like new starts, fresh starts. Remember I said being too comfortable? Sometimes you get so comfortable in, where you're at that it makes it very difficult for you to move on and to progress in life. So in a way, you're sabotaging yourself. You have to be flexible and adaptable. You have to be open to endings and allow them to come in. Let's get some messages from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards. Some of you are perfectionists, and that is how you're sabotaging yourself. Everything has to be perfect before you move forward, right? Everything has to be just so, and if it's not, then you can't do it. I need everything lined up before I can take this step. Stop doing that. You're blocking yourself. Some of you are sabotaging yourself because you do not allow yourself to receive. People try to offer you things, people try to help and be there for you, but you don't like that. It doesn't feel comfortable for you. You prefer to give to others. And the divine is saying, our collective consciousness is saying, this is how you sabotage yourself. Yeah, sometimes you have these opportunities to go through doors and you just don't take them. Like there's opportunities, you're being given a key and you won't take the key and go through the door. That's how you're sabotaging yourself. Some of you feel guilty. You have like this feeling of guilt that you've carried for maybe because of some things you've done in the past. Like if you were addicted to substances or drugs in the past, some of you are still carrying the guilt of that, and it makes it hard for you to see yourself in a positive life and move forward and do the things you want. So in a way, you're sabotaging yourself. Some of you are very hard on yourself and you don't give yourself credit for what you've done, what you've created. And in that way, you're sabotaging yourself. I do have another message about alcohol. For some of you, alcohol abuse is the way that you're sabotaging yourself. It's really not good for you, physically or mentally or emotionally. Some of you are sabotaging yourselves because you're not listening to guidance. You might have someone that's or a couple of people who are very wise around you and they try to give you guidance, but you don't receive it. Again, you're getting this message of being this need to let things go, to let things end, to let things, to release things. And lastly, some of you are self-sabotaging because of sadness, worry, depression. There are things that you've lost in life, things that have felt like betrayals and deaths and just great loss, and you're still carrying that around with you. It's like baggage, and this baggage is stopping you from progressing. You can't even see the sun. You know, like you've created this cloudy sky around you. These dark clouds, you carry them with you and you can't see the sun, and therefore you don't have hope and you sabotage yourself that way. And one more message, some of you self-sabotage because of fear of rejection. You already project that what you want to do or what you want to be is going to be rejected. And so you reject yourself before you can be rejected. I hope this has been helpful. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit the like button. And if you want your own personal reading, check out my website. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.